My name is Jake, welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna talk about the dividend growth pyramid. Now, I wish that I would have seen a video like this when I first started learning about dividend investing and wanting to retire off of my dividend portfolio. This is a really important topic and it ties into how to invest based off of your investment time horizon. One of the issues or one of the challenges that I had when I was first learning to invest and building my dividend portfolio, I had the dream of retiring off of my dividend portfolio. I had the grit, I was working hard, I was putting in the time and the effort, but I didn't really understand how to invest based off my investment time horizon, and that each dividend stock, each dividend ETF serves a different purpose of why you would hold it in your dividend portfolio, because investments are just vehicles. And if you don't know where you're going, how are you going to pick the right vehicle that's going to help you to get to your destination? I wish somebody would have knocked some sense into me 10 years ago when I was trying to figure this whole dividend investing thing out, but I didn't have somebody to walk me through this, but you do. I'm going to walk you through how to look at this. I'm going to share with you some tips and tricks on how to view the dividend growth pyramid, and I'm going to walk you through and explain some things that you want to make sure that you have on your radar. And if you're new to the channel, once again, my name is Jake. I retired from my 9-to-5 job at the age of 37. And after busting my butt for about 10 years in my software sales career and investing into real estate, I was able to reach what is called barista fire. So financial independence, retire early, but I'm not full fat fire. Or regular fire. I'm still working on the side, making YouTube videos for all of you. It's something that I really enjoy, and it helped me and allowed me to not have to work a full-time job like I used to. I can't stress it enough how important it is that you understand how to invest based off of your investment time horizon if you want to live off of your dividend portfolio. Because if you don't understand how to invest based off of your investment time horizon, you might end up at the end of the day in an interesting situation when you look to go to retire, and it could look a little like this. Oh man, shout out to all the grandpas watching this video investing into Bitcoin. That's an actual representation of what it will look like investing into Bitcoin in your 80s. Oh man. All right, cool. So speaking of barista fire here, I want to pay the bills here and tell you a little bit about today's sponsor, Snowball Analytics. The first thing that I really like about Snowball Analytics is how easy it is to import your portfolio. So this was a make it or break it for me. If they didn't have this option to upload your portfolio, I would not be telling you about them today. I can upload my brokerage from M1 directly into Snowball Analytics. And then you're going to have the option to link any brokerage that is associated to that account. And just like that, I'm able to link my brokerage into Snowball Analytics. So this is probably one of my favorite features, is being able to see my yield on cost for my overall portfolio and not have to calculate that manually in Excel. Another feature that I really like is the dividend ratings. You can see your dividend ratings for all of your holdings in your portfolio. Another feature that I use on a regular basis, this is something that I use all the time on my phone. I'll just open up the app and I'll see the dividend calendar here in Snowball Analytics, and you can see when you're going to get paid from what investment in which month. I would not be partnering with Snowball Analytics if I didn't believe in the product. I get a lot of value out of it. I've negotiated with them that if you use my link, you're going to get the very best pricing. I actually requested to be paid less so that I could offer a higher discount for those of you that use my link. But yeah, thank you so much, Snowball Analytics, for sponsoring this video. Now let's talk about the dividend growth pyramid. So I talk a lot about the core and satellite approach to investing, and I tie that that in to the simple path to wealth with dividend investing that I created here on my channel, which was fully inspired by the creator of the Simple Path to Wealth, J.L. Collins. J.L. Collins pioneered the idea of investing into VTSAX or VTI, the total US stock market, and then living off of the 4% rule. That's kind of just a very simplified summary of J.L. Collins and how he inspired me to create the Simple Path to Wealth with dividend investing using the core and satellite. So if you're new to the channel, that's a lot of word salad. Let me break it down for you and help you understand how to look at this. If you want to retire off of your dividend portfolio, what I talk about is having a core portfolio of index funds. And my preferred index funds here are DGRO and SHD. Those are your core holdings. So you have your core portfolio of SHD and DGRO, and then you're going to have satellite positions that are really there to help you reach your goals based off of your time horizon. If you're closer to retirement, you want to reach for more yield. If you have a longer time horizon before you're going to live off your portfolio, well, then you want to focus more on growth, making sure that you understand the core and satellite. And if you follow that approach that I talk about on my channel, everything that we're going to talk about next is more skewed and focused on your satellite portion of your portfolio. Okay. And so once you have your core, ideally made up of low fee index funds, then we're going to look at supplementing or adding on top of your core. And that's what we're going to look at here with the dividend growth pyramid. So if a lot of that went over your head, I would encourage you to watch some of my other videos on the core and satellite, the simple path to wealth, those videos that I've shared on my channel. Okay. But now that we're all on the same page, now that we're talking about the satellite positions and how these can contribute to helping you reach financial independence and to one day live off of your dividend portfolio. So now that we understand that, when looking at the pyramid here, on the left side, you're going to see your investment time horizon. From the lower end to the upper end, the lower end means that you're going to have a shorter time horizon, meaning that you're going to be living off of your dividend income sooner than later, right? Meaning you're no longer going to be adding new money and you're no longer going to be reinvesting the dividends. And then when you go up the pyramid, this is going to be further in your time horizon, whether you have 10 years, 20 years, 30 years before you plan on living off of the dividend income. And what you'll notice on the right side, you're going to see the different dividend growth rates. Now these numbers here represent annualized dividend growth rates over time. You're seeing here that you have the 12%, 9 to 12, 7 to 9, 4 to 6, and less than 4%. And you might be thinking, well, Jake, how did you get these numbers? Why are they the way they are? And the long story short there is I've been looking at dividend stocks and ETFs for a long time, and this is how I personally have always bucketed them. I always think of companies, okay, 12 plus, 9 to 12, 7 to 9, 4 to 6, and less than 4%. And then I just kind of categorize different investments in these different buckets. Okay. And so this is just unique to me. This is not anything that you're going to see in any finance book or anything like that. This is just how I do it. All right, so let's take a look at the pyramid here and let's take a look at a few different examples. Let's say, for example, don't make fun of I'm using my mouse here. This is like 1 to 3 years. Can you see that? Oh, man. I'm using my mouse, so it's not going to be perfect. So if you have like 1 to 3, 1 to 5 years, these are the ones that you would look to add on top of your core portfolio of SHD and DGRO and to include as satellite positions. Now, the individual stocks, you wouldn't want to have more than 5%. Okay, so ETFs, you can have more than 5% as a satellite position, but individual stocks, you would not have more than 5%. And so you're going to see here that you have utilities, you have real estate investment trusts. Generally, these are investments that have a higher starting yield, but a lower dividend growth rate. Okay, and I also included in here a bond ETF, BND, a real estate REIT ETF, so VNQ, and then 2 covered call ETFs that I like. I like JEPQ and I like JEPI. So the scenario here is if you have 1 to 3 years, give or take, you could then look to, instead of adding new money to SHD and DGRO, you could then look to add new money to these down here. It's not a matter of rebalancing. It's not saying sell out of SHD and DGRO. It's saying, okay, we have enough in SHD and DGRO. Now we're about 3 years before retirement. Let's start adding additional money to new investments like Realty Income, JEPQ, Southern Company, something like this that's going to boost our overall portfolio yield. Okay, now the next one here, when we go up the pyramid, you're going to notice here that we have DHS, HDV. If you've never heard of these ETFs have a dividend growth rate on average between 4 to 6%. They generally will have a starting dividend yield of about 4.5%, give or take 4 to 4.5. It depends on what the market's doing. So, but generally around that 4% range. And then you have companies like Coca-Cola, J.M. Schmucker, and Procter & Gamble in here, which will have that dividend growth rate, but each of these will yield a little bit different, right? Procter & Gamble yields around 2.5%, J.M. Schmucker around 3.5%, and Coca-Cola around 3%. And here you could say this is just, oh my gosh, look at that, 3. 3 to, I don't know, like 3 to 5 years, right? You could then say, all right, we're about 3 to 5 years. We're then going to start adding other satellite positions that have a lower growth rate, but a higher starting yield. Okay. And how you're treating this when you're building your dividend portfolio. Have you ever heard of a target date fund, right? Target date fund or a target retirement fund. We're going to type this in here. So target date, this is beautiful. Target date fund. If you've never heard of that, look that up. These are very common in your 401k. We're treating this kind of like a target date fund, right? Where when you have a long-term time horizon, you're focusing on growth, but as you get closer to retirement, that's where you're going to add a little bit of a higher yield, a lower dividend growth rate, okay? Now, this part right here, this is the middle of the pyramid. This is kind of your sweet spot, right? VYM, SCHY, this is kind of like SCHD's international brother. And then VYM is, I think a lot of people know VYM is the high dividend ETF from Vanguard. This right here is kind of like that. This is where you're going to get a lot of high quality companies. You're going to get companies like McDonald's, PepsiCo, Waste Management. A 7 to 9% annual dividend growth rate is very good, right? You're going to get a lot of consumer staples in this section. You're going to get a few consumer discretionary, healthcare, across the board. This right here in the middle this is where most people focus their energy when when they're investing, right? These are the household brands. So this section right here, if you have between, 5 to 10 years, give or take, you can then look to make sure that you're including these as your satellite positions or consider them as a satellite position. A 7 to 9% dividend growth rate is very good. So if you have 5 to 10 years before you plan on retiring, this is a great place to look to add additional satellite positions. Companies that are growing between 7 and 9%, their starting dividend yield could vary, right? Like McDonald's is going to have a very different starting yield than a PepsiCo or something else. So you want to make sure that you're finding a good balance of the starting dividend yield, because you're going to get a lot of, you're going to get some that are 1.5% at this dividend growth rate, and you're going to get some that are 3.5%, right? 3.5% starting dividend yield. So you're going to want to make sure that you're kind of doing your research here and understanding what you're getting, because this is kind of like a catch-all with the starting dividend yield. So just be very mindful of that. All right, now we're getting a little bit closer to the top of the pyramid. And so with the time horizon here, if you have 10 to 20 years, if you have more than 10 years, you should be focusing the majority of your energy on this part of the pyramid. So if you, let's say, for example, you're 30 years old and you know that you want to retire in your early 40s. Then what you want to focus on, the overwhelming majority of your portfolio should be focused on this section right here. Okay, your core portfolio, DGRO, SCHD. If you wanted to have a satellite position in VIG or a company like a Home Depot or a Microsoft, that can be a great option. But these investments right here, their dividend growth rate is between around 9 and 12%. Now, this is the beautiful thing about the simple path to wealth with dividend investing, right? You could go 100% into DGRO and SCHD and call it a day. And then as you get closer to retirement, as you go down the pyramid, you could then start to slowly add additional positions. Do you see how that works? Isn't that so cool, right? You can start out simple, right? Really just automate everything. And then, once you're 35, or once you are 38, right? Remember you wanted to retire with this example in your early 40s. Once you're 35 or 38, then you could maybe add maybe a VYM. Maybe you could add a DHS or a Coca-Cola. As you get closer to retirement, you're going to then go down the pyramid and you're going to treat it like a target date fund. But you're going to do it yourself, and you're not going to have a financial advisor or financial planner to do it for you. You're going to be able to do it yourself because you're keeping it simple. It's the simple path to wealth with dividend investing. Okay, that's how it works. Okay, now that we've got that, let's take a look at the top of the pyramid. The top of the pyramid, I would deem here, if you have 20 plus years, you would then look to add heavier into companies like a Costco, a Visa, and a Lowe's. What you'll notice here is there's not a lot of dividend growth ETFs that can reliably, year over year, have a 12+% dividend growth rate. Trust me, I've looked. There's a few like VGT maybe, right? But VGT, I would not consider a dividend ETF. I would consider that as a growth ETF, one that you would look to rebalance and sell in the future. Okay, and so that's why I didn't include any dividend growth ETFs in this pyramid, because there weren't any that I could see reliably, fitting the bill for what I'm trying to show here. So the way that this works is when you have a longer term time horizon, you're skewing more heavily into those companies that have the dividend growth rate that fit your time horizon. Now you might be thinking to yourself, well, Jake, you own Lowe's, you own Costco, you own Procter & Gamble, you're all over the place. Well, if you were to say that, you would be correct. I am all over the place. And the reason why I'm all over the place is I look at my portfolio holistically as for the overall portfolio. Costco and Lowe's contribute to the long-term growth of my portfolio because I'm still very young relatively, and I hopefully, knock on wood, I'll live many more decades. I still want my portfolio as a whole to still contribute, still grow, right? And so that is why I have pieces from every section of this pyramid. I own Costco, I own Lowe's, I own SAHD, DJRO, I own VYM, I own Waste Management, McDonald's, PepsiCo, Coca-Cola, Jan Schmucker, Procter & Gamble, Realty Income, JEPQ, and JEPI, MVNQ. And I hold all of these in my portfolio for that nice mix of dividend growth and starting yield that I'm looking for that fit my time horizon. So now that you understand the dividend growth pyramid, when you're building your dividend portfolio and you're using the core and satellite approach, it makes it so easy if you understand your time horizon and you understand your why. Whenever I talk to people about investing and about their portfolio and their goals, if they don't understand their why and their time horizon, it makes it very difficult to know how to invest. If you know what your ideal time horizon is, using the example of the 30-year-old. If you're 30 years old, or if you're 20 and you know that you have a 10 or a 15-year time horizon, you can go heavy into your core of SHD and DJRO as an example. You could still add a few individual satellite positions, no problem. But the beautiful thing about it is, if you're going to manage this like a target date fund, right? The target date fund, what you can do is you're managing this on a yearly basis or every 5 years, right? That is the beautiful thing about the simple path to wealth with dividend investing, which was inspired by J.L. Collins using the core and satellite approach. The greatest part about this approach is, first of all, it's simple and it's something that your average person can do. It's not something that you have to pay a financial advisor to work out and do for you. You can truly do it yourself. Your average person can do this. If you're finding that this is still very difficult and you're struggling to just kind of figure this whole thing out and you want somebody to talk to, I do offer, people to sit down with me and talk one-on-one with me. I do it a couple of times a week. I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't tell you explicitly what to buy and sell. But if you just want to talk to somebody about your dividend portfolio, you can book some time directly with me and we can talk about it. But yeah, I hope the video was helpful and I'll see everybody in next week's video. Thanks for watching.
Please subscribe. Please subscribe.
You know what? I think we're gonna be friends. Can everyone say hi to my friend? That's crazy. I just wanted to say thanks. I'm glad you came along, partner.